Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today's our final thoughts of ISS Vanguard. So not waste any more of your time, and quickly, let's go to our host, Lipstickpaddy, who's going to tell you about his final thoughts on all the incredible updates. Well, it's the final hours. We've 13 hours left on this video, and probably 11 hours if it goes live on the YouTube channel. Thank you all subscribers for pressing the bell button, because you would have got a reminder for this just in time for my final thoughts on this campaign. And I'll say right now that it has answered all my prayers that I hoped that this game would have, including more powers and upgrades for your character classes, and alien races coming to the ship, yes. And even more. There's been more goodness through this campaign. We've been flooded with amazing updates all through it. And I've been largely ignoring it all. I really have. But the page is certainly updated, which gives us like a good glimpse at what the updates are. And I'm going to focus just on one of them, which is on the dice rolling, which a lot of people have been complaining about the game as there's too much dice rolling and luck in the game. Well, they've certainly addressed that. Now, it did stay at the 99 buck level, and you got the miniature then for 179. But with the add-ons that were coming out, it did extend it. Now, this gameplay all-in is probably the pledge I will sell at, because the Deadly Frontier box, which they announced recently, is a ground-based expansion where humans have settled on a planet, and that's bringing alien races in, and it's also bringing in more levels for you to level up in. So it's amazing, and it's almost a new campaign in itself. They're calling it the third campaign, because all the stretch goals that have happened, all the daily unlocks has basically given us a second campaign, and the Deadly Frontier is going to be the final campaign. So a little bit like Tainted Grail's campaign, as it kind of expanded into really great gameplay additions where they came out with new boxes, which wasn't just expansion, it was like a whole new box entirely of content, which is fantastic, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's blossomed into something frankly incredible. And they have announced also that it is going to come to retail, but it's just going to be the core box that's coming to retail. But the amazing things that are on the Kickstarter for me are like the mini box, of course, and the personal files to push your character to higher levels, because there's only 4 character classes, and this RPG could really push it towards equivalent to D&D, where it originally only had, I think, 4 levels of character, and D&D has 10 in a normal campaign. So good to see it getting pushed higher. We don't know how high it's going to go, but if it was anything over 5, maybe 6 would be better for me. Best case scenario would be 10 for me, 10 levels up. But it's you can't say it is similar to D&D, but anyhow, I'm happy it's gone up. I'll say that much. At least 2 extra levels on top of the original. So yeah, the day one was just adding pages in the Planetopia, so more locations to travel to. The Operation booklet is like the story mode, which I'm probably just going to get from the app anyway. All these booklets for the voice acting and stuff. And so yeah, basically more planets. This was a great update. More crew cards. Great content there. Day 3, we got extra 4 pages, so more locations to travel and another scenario. These are almost like side missions, but you're going to want to do it anyway because of unique discoveries and salvaged equipment cards here, which could help you. And of course, you're going to get experience for your characters anyway, so normally in an RPG, you want to do all the side missions just to boost your character up. Day 5 then, this was the expansion with the new character cards, and the characters are going to have a unique story, almost a pre-story to them, which is good, fitting them into the lore. Day 7 then, another great scenario, more planets to land on, and a little bit thin on what's happening here, but unique discovery is all the same. You got to ask yourself what we're getting out of the scenario, but this turret system that they've come up, I do love the minis how they're mixing like plastic and this kind of translucent plastic. It's like two types of plastic, isn't it, but they're using, and it does look really good, especially like it's a shield as it's being used here. But I do like the variation in the minis. That is very cool. Alright, so the Lost Fleet campaign, this is going to be the second campaign. They're even calling it a standalone stretch goal campaign. And it's going to happen decades after the original Vanguard mission box. So the base game, if you think of, I don't know if you know Tainted Grail, but the characters in Tainted Grail, the first expansion box they gave was like 100 years in the future or something like this. So you get to see kind of how things have evolved from the base game. And this is kind of doing the same thing where you go back, you go forward into the future and see where ISS Vanguard is now. And it sounds fascinating in the campaign, what they're doing here. And you can see that it is a full new campaign. An 18 new star systems, 70 places to visit, a 36-page book. So that means, 18 locations. And another massive journal of things that are happening. All love this, and a whole slew of cards to go along with it. So amazing stuff, and new monsters, aliens, and all that good stuff, and upgraded threat cards. It's talking here, so you'll find more about this stuff in the comments. The dice was talked about because these updates are multifaceted here, but it is interesting that you've got these alien dice. It says knowledge and training gained by humanity from contacts with other intelligent species. So yeah, you can learn from the aliens in this one. New skills and abilities then. So in this second campaign, your skill base, your levels of your characters are pushing further. It says new here. I don't know what this is going to amount to. If it's 2 extra levels, 3 extra levels, I don't know what it is. But it's all good. It's like more character building. You're probably going to have to roll a new character anyway, but we're probably going to follow the route. I really don't know how it is planned, but it's certainly fascinating and certainly something I can't wait to get my hands on. The ship itself, though, it's going to be, the ship is still around in the future, but it's going to have some new stuff going on it. And so yeah, the ship has had work on it in the years between the expansions. It's going to have 18 new ship upgrades, and hopefully we'll see some new technology. It does say here it represents salvaged ship parts and alien tech, so super great to see. More scenarios, some extra pages. This is all being focused on this new expansion and all some good stuff. Day 17, this ISS Vanguard secret envelope. There's going to be lots of like secret things that are going to be in envelopes, so there's going to be like lots of hidden stuff in the boxes, which is great. And day 19 then, we got this, we're just getting more beautiful stuff, and just pushing out the content, and then we finally got the final one was your first play marker, which is the ISS Vanguard itself, again with 2 types of plastic. I love this translucency on the front, absolutely fascinating. So yeah, an amazing upgrades, updates throughout the whole page, how it's stretched into 2 boxes. The Deadly Frontier, can't wait. The collectibles here for the Sundrop, I don't really care about Sundrop really, and I'm probably going to paint them up. So yeah, this is just too much. So the Almanac, not too concerned about that. I mean, you got these big books anyway of great future, and yeah, it's fairly expensive anyway, isn't it? So there we go. We've got lots of stuff in the campaign. I really just want to go back up to the top because I covered it extensively on the channel earlier. I just want to give you my final thoughts then. The ISS Vanguard is looking fantastic. It's been stretched out so much from the goals. The expansion content is looking great, and I just want to go to the dice mechanic as the final thing to look at, which is and also aliens coming with a box that are actually going to be on your ship and maybe playable. Check the updates out. I won't give you the full context here, but yeah, super exciting. But let's check out the dice mechanics. This is update 11 then on the dev diary, and it's improving the core mechanics. There has been people complaining about push your luck and so much dice rolling in the game. It says, we understand that for a game focused on dice, the main dice mechanic has to be pleasant and engaging, with plenty room to strategize and ways to grow so that the experience remains fresh. And while people who played the prototype rated this part of the game very well, some players raised a couple of concerns regarding it. For example, you wondered whether there's enough incentive in the rules to roll more than the minimum required number of dice for every action. You also wondered whether a relatively simple roll mechanic won't grow stale over the course of a full campaign. There was some confusion as to roll failures. The prototype contained several actions with a special rule that caused you to fail after rolling even a single X symbol, something that many viewers took for a default rule. It isn't. It's a special rule meant to be used on actions that require a very careful approach. So they're trying to clear up this failure. I'm not going to read it all here, but they are changing it big time. And they're going to what they're calling a fail-forward mechanic, where failure in a roll does not mean lack of progress, and it's going to offer a new challenge or an interesting consequence. And yeah, so they want to kind of, if you hit, X's on the dice, it's going to just push you into a different strategy, but you're not necessarily going to fail. And at the end of the day, if you keep getting your X's and failing, you're probably just going to game it and say, feck off, I want to play the story, right? I'm here for the story. So instead of people cheating, which some people do in these type of games when it gets difficult on the dice rolls, they are going to encourage you encourage you to actually suck up the die results and let you play about the new strategy that they're interested in bringing in. Anyway, they are trying to update this, and they have listened to what people are saying, and it's a good direction they're going in, and it really could push the way dice rolls are in games, because it is a super heavy dice rolling game, right? So yeah, super cool. Lots of other stuff happening, and other changes. They were basically listening to all the comments people were having, and they've been answering those questions, and it's been a fully fledged campaign with social interaction, social things happening, daily unlocks, all the rest of it. It's just been an absolutely remarkable crowdfunding game on Gamefound. I think people are just going to call them Kickstarters anyway, because to kickstart is to raise money for something. So yeah, amazing kickstarted board game. And there you go, 13 hours left then from recording, 44.5 gazillion. 45. 4.5 million. Will it hit the 5? I don't know, but if you take into account that there's no Kickstarter fees here, they've made a lot of money on it, and with the amount of content they've pushed back into the content, this is what Gamefound is about. It's about delivering a game using the money that you've saved from not using Kickstarter and putting that back into the project and making the game bigger. And that's what ISS Vanguard has become. It's become bigger, and yes, it really is. Are Kickstarter going to reduce their Kickstarter fees? Well, we don't know. Is Gamefound going to pull more Kickstarters to them? Time will tell, but I hope so. I really do hope so. But yeah, ISS Vanguard, absolutely fantastic. I need to go get this video processed by the editor and get it uploaded, so at least my subscribers that have hit the bell can get this in if they're waiting for my final thoughts. So yeah, absolutely loving it. It's definitely gone up in the year charts because of the best of 2020, pushing now 2021, and wow, just blow my socks off, this Kickstarter, and it's amazing. So yeah, and be enthralled, go through those updates and all that good stuff. And with ISS Vanguard, you can probably late pledge this no problem, because they just want to give you opportunity to get onto it before things are final with the game and before it goes to print. So expect a long time with the late pledge too. So on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. I've been Lipstickpaddy. You've been watching Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye bye for now.